What if I told you that being broke isn't just stressful, it's systematically expensive? What if the real reason you can't get ahead isn't laziness, not lack of discipline, but a hidden tax charged for not having cash? Today, we're exposing the quiet equation that keeps millions stuck, and more importantly, how to break it. Imagine your life as a machine. When it's well-oiled with savings, it runs smoothly. But when it runs dry, every tiny friction turns into damage. Let's say your car starts making a strange noise. The repair costs $400. You don't have it. So you wait. Weeks later, the engine fails. Now it's $3,000. Add towing. Add missed work. Add stress. The original $400 problem becomes a financial avalanche. What if I told you that poverty is not just a condition, but a penalty system? What if every time you struggle to pay a bill, the world quietly charges you extra for struggling? And what if the real game of money isn't about getting rich fast, but about escaping the penalties first? Today, we're breaking down the hidden mechanics that make being broke unbelievably expensive, and how to step out of that trap permanently. Picture your financial life as a boat in the ocean. When you have savings, you float above the waves. When you don't, every small wave crashes directly into you. Now, imagine a small crack appears in the hull. Fixing it today costs $300, but you don't have $300, so you ignore it. Water leaks in slowly. Weeks later, the crack spreads. The repair now costs $2,500. That's not bad luck. That's financial physics. Most people think wealth is built by investing in stocks or crypto. But before you can grow money, you have to stop the leaks. Because being broke isn't neutral. It's not zero, it's negative. It comes with fees, penalties, higher prices, worse contracts, and constant stress. Let's talk about something simple: buying in bulk. If you have $40, you buy the large pack and save per unit. If you only have $5, you buy the small pack and pay double per item. Same product, different price. Not because you're irresponsible, but because you lack liquidity. This is the liquidity tax. Now let's go deeper. Imagine two people need a car. Person A has savings and decent credit. Person B has no savings and bad credit. Person A buys a reliable used car for $18,000 with low interest. Person B buys a $7,000 car at 24% interest from a predatory lot. Over time, Person B may pay $14,000 for a car worth half that. And that car is more likely to break down. Being broke means paying a risk premium. Not because you're risky, but because the system labels you that way. Now let's talk about banks. If you have $10,000 in your account, you get perks. If you have $20 and a $30 charge hits, you get a $35 overdraft fee. You borrowed $10 for one day and paid $35. That's not a mistake. That's a structure. The wealthy earn interest, the poor pay interest. Money flows upward. And then there's the invisible cost, mental bandwidth. When you constantly worry about rent, your brain operates in survival mode. Research shows financial stress lowers cognitive performance. Scarcity consumes attention. You stop thinking long-term. You focus on today's fire. That's why people take payday loans. That's why they choose fast relief over long-term benefit. It's not stupidity, it's pressure. So how do you escape? Not by chasing 10% stock returns, but by eliminating 20% penalties. If your credit card charges 22% interest, paying it off is a guaranteed 22% return. If fixing your car prevents a $3,000 repair, that's an investment. The first mission is not growth, it's stabilization. This brings us to the most powerful financial weapon, the buffer. Your first $1,000 in savings changes everything. A flat tire becomes an inconvenience, not a crisis. A broken appliance doesn't force you into debt. The buffer converts emergencies into expenses, and that shift changes your stress level dramatically. But here's the hard truth. Saving that first $1,000 is the hardest part of the journey. Because when you're exhausted, you want relief, not strategy. You want to feel normal. That's where discipline must override emotion. Every dollar saved is not deprivation. It's armor. Start auditing your life. Where are you paying penalties? High interest loans, late fees, expensive short-term fixes? Attack the biggest leak first, not everything at once, one at a time. Because here's the empowering truth. Yes, the system is harder when you're broke. Yes, the climb from $0 to $10,000 is brutal, but once you build momentum, gravity starts helping you instead of fighting you. Money stops leaking, options increase, stress decreases. The goal isn't luxury, the goal is stability. Stress decreases. The goal isn't luxury, the goal is stability, because stability creates freedom, and freedom creates wealth. If this opened your eyes to the hidden cost of being broke, subscribe right now, because in the next videos, we're not just talking about making money, we're building financial armor. And once you stop paying the poverty penalty, the game finally changes in your favor.